Sri Guru Charanakamalephyo Namaha. Maitreya Muni says, O Vidura, after enjoying household life for 1,000,000 years, taking care of their family and citizens, the 10 brothers Prachetas suddenly recollected the statement given by the Supreme Lord to them. They immediately transferred their kingdom to their son Daksha and quickly went for performing austerities in the forest. When they proceeded from their home, they went west and reached the place where Jajali Muni, a great saint, had received perfection by performing tapasya. They reached that place. The law is that any place where somebody previously prior to them received perfection while performing tapasya, that place, if anybody performs tapasya, austerity, surely receives perfection. Thinking this, these 10 brothers, Prachetas, they sat down there and performed their austerities, keeping their mind under their control. It is difficult to control the mind. If somebody had enjoyed their life in the family or freely without devotion and suddenly control the mind, it is very difficult. One has to gradually carry on controlling, and one day it will come under the control. But this was in Satyuga. That's why these Prachetas could control their mind, even though they enjoyed family life for 1,000,000 years. Seeing Prachetas performing austerities again, Nārada Muni descended from celestial world to them. Nārada Muni travels all over the universe just to benefit everyone. He is welcomed by demigods in heaven. He is welcomed by human beings on earth. He is welcomed by even by demons. Because devotee means impartial. He should be impartial. A pure devotee means should be and must be impartial. If somebody is not impartial, he is not a pure devotee yet. Nārada Muni sometimes seems to be impartial. Similarly, pure devotee may seem to be impartial or partial. Still, he cannot be thought against, because thinking against a pure devotee accumulates offense. There are 3 ways to commit offenses against a pure devotee. Thinking against a pure devotee, speaking bad about a pure devotee, and doing something against a pure devotee accumulates offense. One is worse than this. Second one is worse than the first one. The third one is the supremely worst. One should be very careful. So as soon as Prachetas saw Nārada Muni arriving at them, they immediately stood up with folded hands to welcome him. They welcomed him with bowed head and paid their obeisances and worshipped him as per the law required to respect or honor a pure devotee, welcome a pure devotee. After they worshipped properly, they folded their hands at him and said to Nārada Muni, "O Honorable Sage Nārada, we welcome you wholeheartedly. We are very fortunate that we have seen you. You have come to us. Our luck is so great. You are like a sun who moves around giving light and benefit to all the vegetation and the living entities. Similarly, you are moving around all over the universe to benefit people like us to receive liberation. You know, we are disciples of Lord Shiva. We have accepted him as our Guru. He had instructed us in many ways. And after performing austerities as per the instructions of our Guru, Lord had come to us. The Supreme Lord Vishnu came to us and he also instructed us in many ways. Because we became engaged in household affairs with wife and children and citizens and ruling so much of politics, we forgot in 1 million years, we forgot what Lord Shiva said, what Lord Vishnu says to us. Can you please be merciful unto us and give us that science of self-realization again? Remember, they are not becoming disciples of Nārada Muni. Remember that. Nārada Muni knows he should not be making disciples, reinitiating anybody's disciple whose Guru is perfect. Lord Shiva is perfect Guru and the disciples are prachetas. Nārada Muni is perfect Guru too. A perfect Guru cannot initiate the disciples of another perfect Guru. Remember that. Only those disciples who do not have perfect Guru, whose Guru is not authorized by scriptures, who is not authorized to function as Guru and initiated disciples because he wants followers and their donation and respect, they should be reinitiated. They should receive reinitiation. They should beg for reinitiation. That is the law of scriptures. That is the law of liberation. One cannot receive liberation. You have a bogus Guru who is not authorized by scriptures, is a bogus Guru. So, Nārada Muni did not initiate them, but he instructed, reminded the same instructions. Scriptures are same. One Guru tells from the scriptures, another Guru tells from the same scriptures. So, scriptures are same. After hearing the plea of the disciples of Lord Shiva, Nārada Muni again explained the same knowledge to them. By that knowledge, the knowledge he explained was by using which one can go across this material existence, means receive liberation. Maitreya Muni says, Nārada Muni always, the mind and heart of Nārada Muni always remains engaged in the lotus feet of the Lord. Always thinks about the Lord. Pure devotee cannot think anything else. He may be talking to somebody else, he may be chastising somebody else, he may be doing something else, but he's always engaged thoughts of Lord Kṛṣṇa. We have explained that in the 9th chapter of the Bhāgavat Gita. Nārada Muni said to Prachetas, Tajjanmatani karmani tadayustan manovachaha nrunam yeneha vishwatma sevyate haririshvaraha. O Prachetas, you are 10 of you. And you have same one name. You did the same thing. You're doing same thing again. O kings. That's why Nārada Muni addresses them. O kings, plural number. Because there are 10 of them. anyone who wholeheartedly engages in the service of the Supreme Lord, chants His holy name, worships Him, concentrates on His lotus feet, their duration of life, their existence, their high birth, their activities, their mind, their words, their actions, all are called perfect. All become perfect. They receive success. The success of human life, the goal of human life is to serve and please the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna. One who engages in such activities, their life is sure to be successful. Those who are ideal people, they engage in service of Lord Krishna. They become real devotees of Krishna. You know, there are three things in life for a human being. Number one, high parentage, taking birth with a combination of right kind of father and right kind of mother. Taking birth, called high birth. Brahmin house is the highest birth on this planet, Earth. So, number one, high birth, high parentage. Number two, going through the sacred thread ceremony through fire sacrifice, receiving, called Savitri birth. Savitri birth is at the age of 9, Brahmin is supposed to receive. Age of 11, Kshatriya is supposed to receive. Age of 15, Vaishya is supposed to receive. Only 3 are allowed to receive this Savitri birth. Others are not allowed. Third birth, everybody takes birth. First birth, everybody takes birth. Everybody takes birth from right kind of mother, right kind of father, possible. Maybe not everybody, most of them. Third birth, everybody can take birth. Even outcasts, everybody who are unwanted children can take birth, can accept this. It's called Yagic birth. Accepting initiation from a scripturally authorized spiritual master. It's called Yagic birth. Those, even if they have 3 qualities of correct births, but they are not devotees of the Supreme Lord, everything they do is all a waste. Nārada Muni says. So one should not be proud of high birth and sacred thread and initiation if they are not sincere devotees. Following the order of spiritual master is a sincere devotee. Sometimes people accept a scripturally authentic spiritual master, but they don't follow him. So that birth is useless. Like that. Even such people obtain the duration of life as high as the demigods, 10,000 years celestial, millions. Or they have a lot of money there. They have a lot of scriptural knowledge. They do all Vedic karmas. They ideal people. And they have taken sannyas. Their academic knowledge is good, high memory and good intelligence. They're wise people. They're expert. They're eloquent speakers. They're clever. They perform austerities. They study Veda. They study Vedas. And they are renounced. They're detached from material affairs. Still, that everything goes in waste if they are not devotees of the Supreme Lord. Now, it should be understood. We hear so many people, they become devotees and they criticize Brahmin birth, that all Brahmins are no good and we are the only one who will go back to Godhead. That is wrong. That is not correct. If Brahmin is following all the rules of the scriptures and is a devotee in the unbroken chain of disciplic succession, received initiation from a perfect spiritual master, following all the processes, and is a devotee, thoroughly, heart of heart, a real devotee, has unfathomable knowledge of the scriptures, is not correct. Is he not a good devotee? Why you think he is not a good devotee? That you have to think. Okay, you have eaten meat and drank wine whole your life and became a devotee now, and you think you are the only devotee and those who are having correct life and devotee in the chain of disciplic succession, they are not devotees. That is wrong way of thinking. You need reformation of your thinking. Like that. So, Nārada Muni further says, one should not waste their life, human life, without becoming a devotee. Real usage of human birth is to become a devotee of Lord Kṛṣṇa. To become devotee of Kṛṣṇa, to chant the holy name of Lord Kṛṣṇa, first you have to take proper initiation from a scripturally authorized spiritual master. Because he has the power of attorney to write your name in the register of God in the spiritual world. Unless your name is written in the register of God, he cannot recognize your devotion like that. Yatha kanchana tam yati kasya rasha vidhanata tatha dikhya vidhanena dvijattam jayate indranam. Just as bell metal and mercury combined alchemically following scientific process turns into gold, similarly authentic spiritual master and a sincere soul, innocent soul, combined through alchemical process means scriptural evidence, surely takes another birth and becomes a devotee. First birth is from combination of mother and father. The second birth is combination of Vedic scriptures and Guru. Mata mevatu gayatri pita onkar ochyate aham brahma kule jatate aham brahmano mama. Second birth is that. When one takes birth from combination of mother and father, it's a physical birth, material birth. Dust comes from dust, and dust mixes with dust. And second birth is from scriptures, means God, the scriptures, he speaks the scriptures, and authentic spiritual master. Both unite, whoever takes birth is called second birth. Nārada Muni further says, this is true, he said. The soul performs austerity for its benefit. The soul is the remedy to perform austerity and please God. Soul is the cause. And receiving self-realization from the Supreme Lord through the spiritual master is to satisfy the soul, to make your soul works right. Atmanah tu kamaya sarvam priyam bhavati, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says. One must worship the Supreme Lord to please him, and that process of pleasing him pleases the soul. That's what Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says. Soul becomes automatically pleased when Supreme Lord is pleased and your concentration is to please him. Then automatically pleased. That's what it means. Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. If you do devotional service, benefit for the soul is sure. It will come. But if you are egotistic, you are in trouble. Nayam Atma Kathopanishad. Nayam Atma Pravachanena Labhyo. Na Medhaya na Bahuna Srutena. May Vaishe. Brunate. May Vaishe. Brunate Laptena Labhyas. Tasyeva Atma Vivrunate Tanuswam. My memory is becoming. Kathopanishad very nicely it says, because you are an eloquent speaker, because you are very intelligent and smart, you can quote Socrates and Plato and forget about the scriptures and Vedas, because you are so intelligent, you are so well educated academically, you are so smart, you can get things done. That's why God should be understood by you. No, it is not like that. It don't happen that way. Nayam, not possible. I'm the Supreme Lord. It's not possible. You do this. Oh, yeah, because I'm a high parentage, I'm a Brahmin, I'm American, I'm an Indian, I'm Chinese, I'm this and I'm that. Cannot be. You quote Plato's as much as you want, Socrates, you can quote all these people. You cannot understand God. You cannot claim that you are a devotee unless you are humble. So, Yame Veshe Prunute Tena Labhyas. Whoever is accepted by the Supreme Lord to be understood, he or she can understand the Supreme Lord. One has to be blessed. How can one be blessed if he is egotistic? God don't like ego, false ego. What is that? The atimatyanta garhitam. Do not become too proud for your position of wealth, high education, academics, and big nation, high parentage, big smart, intelligence, clever. The scripture, Mahabharata says that. No intelligence, no education, no eloquent speech, psychological talk to control people. You cannot understand God. You have to understand only when He wants you to understand. That is the only way. So, Nārada Muni further says, Yatha taror mula nishechanena bhavanti tatskanda bhujopashakha trupyanti bhavanti se. Trupyanti tatskanda bhujopashakha prano pahara cha yathendriyanam tasyeva sarvar hanam achyuteja. Surrender to the Supreme Lord wholeheartedly. Look what happens. Just as you pour water and the root of the tree, its trunk, its branches, its twigs, its flowers, its leaves, all becomes energized. Just as supplying food to the stomach, all the limbs receive energy, become energized. Similarly, worshipping the Supreme Lord, Sri Kṛṣṇa, with pure, full devotion and dedication, not haphazardly so. That is not accepted. Then all the demigods and every living entity becomes satisfied. So that's why I say, just food distribution, clothes distribution, taking care of poor people, that is like watering the leaves of the tree. The trees caused by the root. The greenness of the tree is due to the root. If you water the root, if you supply everything to the root of the tree, the leaves will automatically be pleased. So people are not interested nowadays to please God. They are interested to welfare work. That may be fine for some time. But after that, you got to please the Supreme Lord. He is the root cause of everything. That you see or think or feel or will or know, root of that is God. God's name is Kṛṣṇa. Karseti sarva jivani Isusa Kṛṣṇa. That is God. Kṛṣṇa is God. Name of God in Sanskrit is Kṛṣṇa. And better to pronounce Kṛṣṇa than God. God is just a title. In this there is no doubt. You please everyone if you please Lord Kṛṣṇa. Nārada Muni further says, O prachetas, just as in summer season, the rays, strong rays of sun evaporate water, soak water, and take and pour on time in rainy season, and grow vegetation to help everyone. And again soak water from earth in summer season. Just as all living entities take birth from earth and due course of time they die and mix in the dust. Similarly, everything emanates from the Supreme Lord. When time comes and go in the Supreme Lord. Everything, whole creation come from Him and goes back in Him. So, such a big creation came from Him. How big He must be? How big He must be, the whole creation goes living inside Him. Remember that. God is the greatest. There is nothing who's greater than Him. It's called Asamurtha. God's name in Sanskrit, one name in the Sanskrit, Asamurtha, nobody is equal or greater than Him. He is God. He is the root of everything. Everything came from Him. Just as Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says that. Annād bhavanti bhūtāni parjanyād anna sambhava yagyād bhavati parjanyo yagya karma samudbhava. Rains cause the food grains. And food grains eaten by all living entities energizes them. And that rain comes through performing fire sacrifices that goes and lives as a cloud in the sky. And then that fire sacrifice is performed by following prescribed duties. Prescribed duties are written in the scriptures. Scriptures are told by the spiritual master. Spiritual master is God Himself, came in the human form. So everything comes from God. Like that. Nārada Muni further says, O prachetas, just as senses remain active while one is awake, but when that person falls asleep, deep sleep, the actions of the senses mingle in the sleep. Similarly, the whole creation comes from the Lord, becomes active, and then again goes back in the Supreme Lord at the time of annihilation, lives in Him. After millenniums, just as the sky causes clouds, also light comes from the sky, and darkness comes from the sky. Everything comes from the sky, these three things. Just as sky causes rain, clouds, and so also causes light, also causes darkness. Still, it don't get affected. Similarly, whole creation comes from the Lord. The three modes of material nature, goodness, passion, and ignorance come from the Lord. Time is the Lord. Still, He remains unaffected. Even though everything came and entered in Him, He remains unaffected. And He always remains transcendental, complete. Just like father remains complete when son is children born, father remains complete, not reduced. Similarly, the Supreme Lord. But one must surrender unto Him wholeheartedly and chant His name sincerely. Nārada Muni says that when the desire for sense gratification evaporates from the person, that person becomes pure. And in that pure heart, Lord Kṛṣṇa lives in that, comes and lives, and don't go out. What a nice way to have God in our heart. Why we have to have material desires and engage in material things? What sense gratification will satisfy you? In many, many births you have satisfied your senses and remained dissatisfied. And now again engage in those dissatisfying sense gratification. That is not very smart job. Let's be smart and become a real devotee, sincere devotee, heart of heart devotee. Lord loves His devotees so much so that He even leaves His wife Lakshmi and runs for taking care of His devotee. What a nice God He is. Let us serve Him nicely. Be a nice devotee. Till you die from this world, till your last breath, you remain a devotee. That is sincerity. One day you will become unalloyed devotee. If you remain till your death, till your last breath, a devotee, one day you will receive self-realization. Guarantee. Let us remain devotee till our last breath. Lord loves His pure devotees. Maitreya Muni says, after speaking like this and instructing the Prachetas, Nārada Muni left back to his abode to live with his father, Brahmaloka. Prachetas, following the instructions given by Nārada Muni, their god uncle, because these Prachetas are disciples of Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva is god brother of Nārada Muni, maybe a little different chain, but it's fine. Both are sons of Lord Brahma and their disciples. So, these 10 brothers, Prachetas, performed rigid austerities, at last became pure devotees and gone back to Godhead. Maitreya Muni further says, O Vidura, you had asked me about question about Prachetas and their connection with the Supreme Lord. I have explained to you all this properly. Then Sukadeva Goswami says to King Parikshit, O Parikshit, I have explained to you about one son of King Swāyambhuva Manu, Uttanpad's narration and his dynasty. Now I will speak about the second son of Swāyambhuva Manu. His name is Priyabrata. He became disciple of Nārada Muni and performed rigid devotional service, became a pure devotee, and then by instructions of Lord Brahma, he entered in household life and enjoyed and ruled the whole planet Earth. And after some time he relinquished everything, gave it to his sons, divided the kingdom, and went back to the forest to perform austerities and receive liberation. It is the duty of every human being who enters in the household life to relinquish that life and go to live in the ashram peacefully and serve Lord and chant the holy name. That is the law. Previously they would go in jungles. Nowadays very difficult to live in jungles because mosquitoes, snakes, scorpions, we don't know what, no food available. So we say ashrams. Ashrams are also like living in the jungle. This side, when Maitreya Muni spoke, that I have narrated everything to you. Vidur Maharaj paid his obeisances and took his permission and returned to Hastinapur. Sudha Goswami says that anyone who hears the narration of the devotee kings and who perform on the relating to the Supreme Lord, their fame, their duration of life, their wealth, and their success increases. And later on, the path to self-realization and going to back to Godhead becomes wide open. Thank you very much.